Hi guys, this is Rajiv. I'm part of the SAP Solution Delivery Center team in India, and we are one of the participating teams of this blockchain challenge. And today we have come here to discuss our solution to one of the very prominent problems in the airline space. So this is the problem that we are talking today. So I think this problem is very evident to the airline space, that is called the GDS fee problem. So we are all aware of the current booking process in the airline industry, where we have two types of processes. One is via the direct airline and the other is via the third party websites or the GSAs. Now this booking from the airline website does not have any kind of fees involved because it's the airline inventory, airline space, airline everything. But when it comes to the agent or third parties which have an interface to the GDS or the global distribution system like Amadeus, Galileo, or some more. I think there are four. So GDS is gets paid for each and every transaction that happens via GDS, being it a search or the booking, and that's a very good amount. If as per the statistics, that amount is around $10 to $12 or €8 to €10 per transaction that they get from the airlines, and this is not a small amount because as per the latest statistics, the current sales cost that is being borne by the airline companies is 4 to 8% of their total airline expenses, out of which the cost to GDS is one of the major major contributor. And it's not like that the companies have not tried to bypass this GDS thing. They have tried to do in the past, but somehow they are not able to do it, and they have lost market share in attempt to these measures. So overall, it's kind of a monopolistic environment for the GDS, and they are encashing it a lot. So as you can understand the whole story, these are the airline's key concerns. Average $8 to $10 per transaction, huge amount. Commission costs by the GDS, exaggerating the sales cost, 4 to 8% now. Over dependency on GDS, leading to monopoly of the GDS in the airline market. And at last, one of the very prominent fact about the fraudulent practices that is happening between the GDS and the GSAs, which is playing with the prices and the hits on the ticket sales. So this is where we would like to pitch in with a blockchain solution. So as part of the blockchain, we have thought of one very uh, important factor, that it's just not only the distribution process. We have to make sure that customer acquisition stays the same way. So we have not touched the interaction between the customer to the for booking the process. It still remains from the third party agency websites. So we keep the customer acquisition the same way. Now it's just that the agencies now talk to the new blockchain's platform for in booking the inventories. So this is the blockchain platform where all the airlines are join as a participants. They upload their inventories, and this then works the same way as a GDS does. So once you try to log, the customer logs in via the GSAs, try to book a ticket, it blocks a ticket on the SAP Cloud Platform blockchain, and then books the ticket for you, and then at last it does this all the operations which the GDS does, primarily like settlement between the GDS, GSAs, and airlines. All the stuff remains the same. So we are not touching the overall revenue model for them. But what changes? Now, no fees, no GDS costs, no impacts, no frauds, no unwanted handling from the systems, no dependencies on GSAs. So this is a system open, created by you, owned by you, used by you, but it comes with some kind of a expenditure which comes as a capital expenditure which you need to have to set up this system. Of course, you have to bring all the airlines as part of this consortium, but you have to install this the whole blockchain system. It will come with some kind of operating expenses as well for the company who will be maintaining this system. But the sales costs, the ticket prices, everything will go down. And if I just remember, in 2012, around 7 billion amount was paid to GDS as part of the fees, which I think should have crossed more than 50 billion, 60 billion, 70 billion. I'm sure that is much saving which you currently give to the GDS when you really own it yourself. So guys, important factor is that now there is all the transactions as transparent. You don't have anyone to bully you on the prices, anyone to do frauds with you. It's your system which does everything for you. And the icing comes up with the management of loyalty points. Currently, the loyalty points that are currently managed are airline specific. So you get the airline miles, you consume it on certain websites, but sometimes those airline miles are not enough to use it for themselves. And people have traveled with multiple airlines and they have different loyalty points from different airlines, but they cannot use it together. We propose that we give a new customer experience in terms of how the airline miles could be exchanged. So if one airline miles from, let's say, Air India or Lufthansa could be exchanged to something called as Emirates, and or maybe all the airline points of different airlines could be exchanged with something called as a universal air mile, which could be encashed or redeemed anywhere. How about that? Just imagine about the customer experience that you will have with all this. And there is no better thing in terms of airline business than the customer experience, which is currently going on a downward trend due to the air traffic, the experiences in the airports, the booking problems, the overbookings, and at last, whatever he has earned for himself, he can't use it. Why don't we give him a chance to improve his customer experience, to give him flexible loyalty points? At last, this solution will have no intermediary fees, all transparent and transactions, trust-free network, automatic settlements, customer satisfaction. And we're not doing it alone. We're trying to build this with NDC, with the support of NDC and One World, so that we all entities come together to build up a solution which is acceptable and ordered and used by all. Another important solution that we are trying to address over here is the flight catering logistics. So today I'm not going to discuss this whole food and everything. I'm just going to discuss about non-disposable stock items or the non-consumable stock items like crockery, glassware, trays, blankets, something like those. So someone has said it very clearly that flight catering is 70% logistics and 30% cooking. So if we can improve this 70% logistics, which is currently the biggest problem in optimizing this flight catering logistics, I think we have a big battle which we could win. What are the current challenges that we have? We do not have the visibility, inventory visibility at the warehouses. We do not have the inventory visibility at the partners. We do not have the inventory requirements in the further trips. We do not have the inventory requirements at other locations. We want to minimize the inventory costs. We want to optimize the in-flight inventory. And we want to optimize the warehousing and in-transits. How do we do that? Just check the system at this moment. It's not that these systems are not IT enabled. Yes, they are. but they're all silos. Airline has one system, distributor has another, providers have another, suppliers, food and non-food, they have another systems, but they're not talking to each other. It means a person who is at the airline side and wants to kind of manage or plan something, he has no visibility because he cannot plan, he cannot because he does not have any kind of visibility. What we propose is this, that we keep all those systems intact. It's just that we provide them common interface which push and pull the data from on our SAP Cloud Platform blockchain, and which could be utilized by all the partners in relevant with relevant information. And this information could then help the planners to let them plan for the logistics in a better way, and you could just do wonders with this, and the thoughts are endless. You can just target any of your problem which you have in your logistics and inventory, and you could optimize everything. And it doesn't stop you to use the machine learning capabilities of SAP to make sure that all of this, when gelled together, gives you a solution which airline industry has just dreamt of. They have not kind of, they might have envisioned it, but I'm sure the SAP Cloud Platform blockchain with the help of machine learning services will can give you the solution which will change the airline industry. Next steps, cost benefit analysis. I'm sure the new system of blockchain is going to be there with huge scaling required. I think we need to do the cost benefit analysis. And I'm sure that's negligible as compared to what is being currently lost to GDS and in the management of flight catering. How do we bring all the airlines together? Airlines is a competitive space. We all know that. But we all have an intent. We know that we have an intent to remove the GDS. We know we have an intent to improve the flight catering logistics operations. So what's stopping us to be together just to improve the processes? The competitive edge still remains the same because we have the processes are still your own, but the information is shared now, and the customer acquisition still remains the same. So you can still play with your customer acquisition channels. You need to get in your customer acquisition channels work for you, and that's where is the competitive space for all of you. I know that's something um, the GDS will provide. The new solution which replaces the GDS provides you the same information, but the GSS could could be a potential place where you can invest your customer acquisition cost for better selling. Learnings from NDC and One World are another factors which we want to incorporate. We know that NDC has been there for long and has worked a lot on standardizing the processes, and we want NDC, in fact IATA, to come up and join SAP to come up with a solution for the airline industry which is a revolutionary and make change the way the airlines work. And at last, if everything improves, it's a customer delight, and that's what we are working for. I know the profit will be there because customer delights would also give you better experiences, more journeys, and when the sales costs are coming down and the um, catering and the processes are optimized, you will definitely have bigger margins. That's all from my side. This is Rajiv Kanoria from my team signing off.